Vince Brown.
Overtime. BigsRadio.com.
Vince Brown in the morning.
It's all about you. The Bigs Radio Network.
15 past the hour on Vince Brown in the morning. Get at us on the Bigs Radio line, 773-462-4447. That's talk or text. 773-462-4447. On this official Biz Markie Bumper Day. We got the latest chapter in the Ahmaud Arbery murder case. According to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, attorneys for the men accused of killing Arbery are requesting that a Georgia judge bar reporters from the courtroom during the jury selection process set to begin later this year. The lawyers representing Greg and Travis McMichael, the father and son charged with the murder of the 25-year-old from last February, filed a motion earlier this week to keep the media out as potential jurors are questioned. William Bryant, a neighbor who joined the father and son in pursuing Arbery while he was jogging through a Georgia neighborhood, is also facing murder in the case. Now, in the motion filed to the court, the defendant's legal team moved to have a three-step process in the jury selection. First, potential jurors will be asked to answer a written questionnaire before being brought into the courtroom one at a time to answer questions from the judge and lawyers both sides. And the third proposed step will be to further question potential jurors in groups of 12. Well, I tell you, when it's time to be accountable, the defense always wants to have this, that, and the third removed from eyesight so they can slip some stuff in. But y'all don't want the actual action slip from hindsight to show something. I find that interesting. Almost like a few of these Karen cases, but what do I know? I'm just a DJ, right? We'll keep tabs on it as much as we can, but I have a feeling there's going to be some loopholes to try to be jumped through here before we get going with this Arbery case. Vince Brown in the morning, keeping it moving for this Biz Markie Bumper Day. Check your watches. It is 17 past the hour.
Vince Brown in the morning.
Your community leader. The Bigs Radio Network.
Vince Brown.
Overtime. BigsRadio.com.
Vince Brown in the morning.
Name it and claim it. The Bigs Radio Network.
30 past the hour on Vince Brown in the morning. Get at us on the Bigs line, talk or text, 773-462-4447. That's 773-462-4447. Just a reminder, you can catch this great program every Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. Central Time, on the mothership, BigsRadio.com. And for my peoples on the seaboard, 7 a.m. Eastern Time through SoulRadio51Philly.com. Also later tonight, the boss lady back behind the boards of bringing that new music to you like she always does. The Monday night edition of The Big Show. Check it out tonight, 8 p.m. Central Time on the mothership, BigsRadio.com. Inside this Biz Markie Bumper Day, interesting study from the University of Michigan. In assistance with the American Psychological Association, researchers have published a study in the Journey of Personality and Social Psychology that details how police officers tend to change their tone when speaking to people of different races. As expected, researchers found that officers speaking to black men, quote, conveyed less warmth, respect, and ease than when they spoke to white men, end quote. Furthermore, researchers came to the conclusion that interactions between officers and black men that lack warmth and respect often create greater division between marginalized communities and enforcement. Now, this is basically putting hard numbers to what most of us in the hood already know. Officer Friendly ain't coming to the hood no more, bro. You gotta be a real strong person for somebody to really make a connection between the police and the community, because I have a feeling that went out the door with the war on drugs. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. And, you know, it's interesting that research tries to put a quantitative value on certain things most of us already know. But it's always good to have, just in case somebody wants to say, oh, that don't happen in your neck of the woods. Y'all should be over this. Sir, I bring you this study. Now, would you mind repeating that last statement again? Or do I have to smack you like Homie the Clown did back in the day? I ain't saying, I'm just saying. Vince Brown in the morning, social media question of the day. We're going to keep it simple because we're going to see how much y'all reminisce about my man Biz Markie. On this Biz Markie bumper day, check your watches. It is 27 before the hour.
Vince Brown in the morning.
We're not for sale. The Bigs Radio Network.
Vince Brown.
Overtime.
BigsRadio.com.
Vince Brown in the morning.
Online and on your mobile device.
The Bigs Radio Network.
15 before the hour on Vince Brown in the morning. Get at us on the Bigs Radio line. Talk or text 773-462-4447. That's 773-462-4447. Also, just a reminder, we're growing by leaps and bounds on our brand new Facebook group, Bigs Radio Station. You need to get over there and get with the program so you can upgrade your love of Bigs Radio to VIP status. We got podcast premieres, new music coming through the hood, exclusive events, all that fun stuff. But you don't know if you ain't in it. Get over there now. Bigs Radio Station Facebook group. Social media question of the day on this Biz Markie bumper day. As most of you probably know by now, we said this at the top of the show, Biz Markie, the undisputed clown prince of hip-hop, passed away this past Friday, July 16th, after a long battle with type 2 diabetes. As a matter of fact, what set off this final episode, from what I understand, was a diabetic shock that has kept him, unfortunately, in the bed and deteriorating until his transition on Friday. His wife, Terry, right there by his side. And I know that was a strong woman to be there all them years with him trying to fight diabetes. Shouts out to Mrs. Biz Markie. We got you, Ma. We got you. For sure, for sure. That brings us to our social media question of the day. Real simple. What is your favorite Biz Markie track of all time and why? I don't want you to just state it. I want to find out what brought you to like that track over every other one he's had. What is your favorite Biz Markie track of all time and why? You can drop your response into our Biggs Radio Station Facebook group, or talk or text your response to 773-462-4447. That's 773-462-4447. For those of you contacting us from outside the United States and Canada, make sure to add the country code 1 before dialing. Again, what is your favorite Biz Markie track of all time and why? That'll take care of this first hour on Vince Brown in the Morning. If this is your last stop, we appreciate you kicking it with us. Let's do it again tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Central Time, 7 a.m. out east. For those of you continuing on, we'll keep the party flowing with this Biz Markie Bumper Day. And, of course, the man of the hour will be our cover story as we drop a little bit more information on what the man did to make you move, groove, shake, and bake, and all that fun stuff. Honoring the late, great Biz Markie on Vince Brown in the Morning, presented by Bank of America. Make quick and easy deposits at a Bank of America ATM near you. Hold what you got. We are 11 before the hour.
The Biggs Radio Network. Vince Brown.
Overtime. BiggsRadio.com.
Vince Brown in the Morning.
The catch of the day. The Biggs Radio Network.
15 past the hour on Vince Brown in the Morning. Get at us on the Biggs Radio line. Talk or text 773-462-4447. That's 773-462-4447. On this Biz Markie Bumper Day, those of you that are trying to teach your youngins their black history are going to like this. According to National Geographic magazine, the National Trust for Historic Preservation created a $50 million fund to preserve black historic landmarks across the country. Established in 2017, the African American Cultural Heritage Action Fund marks the largest effort to preserve black historical sites and recently announced it will fund 40 projects of historical and cultural significance to black people. This year's grants were awarded to a variety of organizations, including libraries, museums, churches, universities, community theaters, and more. And it's the largest monetary distribution in the fund's history. In their first 3 years, the fund raised $30 million with donations from the Ford and Andrew W. Mellon Foundation. Executive Director of the fund, Brent Leggs, said, quote, "It's important we tell these stories that are overlooked to equitably understand what it means to be American. It is important that we invest in historic black communities to stimulate revitalization and to foster interest in places that today seem to exist without history." Right on and about damn time. See, folks, if you just dig enough, you'll find some good stuff in the community. Folk trying to preserve our black landmarks and we don't even know it. Shouts out to the fund. Might have to get y'all on the show one of these days to talk about that thing. I just might do that. So if you're trying to teach your kids some black history, congratulations. Whole gang of these things, coast to coast, are going to be preserved for you. Vince Brown in the Morning on this Biz Markie Bumper Day. The man of the hour will be our cover story coming up a little bit. Check your watches. It is 18 past the hour.
Vince Brown in the morning.
The voice of the community.
The Bigs Radio Network.
Vince Brown.
BigsRadio.com.
Vince Brown in the morning.
The community's choice. The Bigs Radio Network.
30 past the hour on Vince Brown in the morning. Get at us on the Bigs Radio line. Talk or text 773-462-4447. That's 773-462-4447. A reminder to get at us every Monday through Friday morning, 6 a.m. Central Time on the mothership, BigsRadio.com. And for my peoples out on the seaboard, through our Philadelphia affiliate, SoulRadio51Philly.com, 7 a.m. Later on this month, we're going to do our good in the hood as Biggs Radio's boss lady, Dinah Biggs, heads back to our hometown, Gary, Indiana, to kick it at Railcat Stadium with the Gary Community Partnership. Saturday, July 31st, it's a back-to-school community walk, run, and health fair. Getting going at 9 a.m. in the morning, free to the public. If you're up around Gary in Northwest Indiana or Metro Chicago, come on through. Holler at the boss lady. Get some screening done for yourself and your children. And just have a great time. Gary's own DJ Stan going to rock the music for you while you do your thing with the boss lady and getting yourself well. Because it's all about wellness, know what I'm saying? July 31st. Saturday, July 31st. Ain't got no excuse. You off from work, kids off from school. Get over to Railcat Stadium in Gary. Make it happen for your health. All right? Cover story time. And you know who we hooking it up with. He has been called the Clown Prince of Rap, and in other instances, the Diabolical. His mama called him Marcel. We all know him as the legendary Biz Markie. He was born Marcel Theo Hall in Harlem, but spent most of his formative years out in Brentwood, Long Island, even graduating from Brentwood High School. So I'm probably certain he met up with EPMD somewhere along the way, because they're also from Brentwood. When it came to doing this rhyming thing that he loved to do, he went a rather untraditional route. Of course, he started in his hometown nightclubs, but then he went further down into the mid-Atlantic states to the colleges and rocked it through D.C., Maryland, Virginia, and Pennsylvania. The origin of his stage name, Biz said it as such, quote, Biz comes from the first hip-hop tape I heard. It was 77, 78, from the L Brothers. Grand Wizard Theodore was a DJ, and the rappers were Keffy Kev, Master Rob, and Busy B Starsky. There's the Biz for you. He said, Busy B just stuck with me because my name used to be Busy B Markie. And after a while, I just put Biz because my nickname in the neighborhood was Markie. The discography, although not as long as most, is as memorable as most. Nobody Beats the Biz, Vapors, Make the Music with Your Mouth Biz, the first of his charted tracks. One of his, what we would call comedy hip-hop tracks, Pickin' Boogers. He also had another one called Toilet Stew Rap. You know, I gotta do rap, I gotta do. He was also the guinea pig in the 90s when somebody named Gilbert O'Sullivan claimed that Biz's track Alone Again Naturally ripped off one of his tracks. And in essence, it made everybody from that point forward have to clear their samples through certain clearinghouses. Talk about making money in the game. So Biz said, all right, since y'all want to go that route, 1993, he dropped this track, his LP, All Samples Cleared. Threw it right back at him. And it featured the last charting track he had called Let Me Turn You On. And then once the rapping kind of faded for him, he said, you know what? I'm going to try my hand at acting. So he was in Who's the Man, a few other movies. He had this great beatbox scene with Will Smith and Men in Black 2 that I thought was a turning point for hip-hop's acceptance into the mainstream. And then he figured, you know what? Since I had DJs behind me, let me see if I can do this. That wound up becoming another career for him as he became an in-demand party DJ across the globe. He was already famous. He just had to do it on the ones and twos. Just to really show you how widespread accepted he was, here is an interview from People TV magazine where the interviewer tried to put his beatboxing skills up against Biz Markie.
A little bit of an amateur beatboxer. I know it may be surprising.
Well, let me hear you.
I put it out a little bit. You rate it. Tell me what you think. Mine's pretty basic. That's all I got. Now give me something. How can you help me out here? I need to make it better.
First of all, don't cover your mouth.
Okay.
And you use the sucking.
How do you do the rattle that you did? Let me try my beatbox. Maybe you can do just one line of Just a Friend, okay? Here we go.
You got what I need.
But you say I'm just... Now maybe I'll complete it. I'll complete the line with your beatbox, which is way better, and we'll see which one is better. Is that okay?
Ready?
Okay, here we go. I said you got what I need. But you say I'm just a friend. Oh, baby. Oh, my gosh. Look at this. Marking the things off my bucket list left and right.
And there you have it. That was just the accessibility Biz had with the people. And it got him a widespread audience. And by the way, that Just a Friend that he was rhyming, that was his biggest hit. It got as high as number 9 on the top 40. And number 5 on the R&B charts. And all came from the man who left us, I think, way too soon. Marcel Theo Hall, a.k.a. the Diabolical Biz Markie, gone from us at age 57. Vince Brown in the morning on this Biz Markie bumper day. Check your watches. It's 22 before the hour.
Vince Brown in the morning.
The voice of the community.
The Bigs Radio Network.
Vince Brown.
Overtime. BigsRadio.com.
Vince Brown in the morning.
It's all about you. The Bigs Radio Network.
15 minutes before the hour. Here on Vince Brown in the morning. Get at us on the Bigs Radio line, talk or text, 773-462-4447. That's 773-462-4447. Just a reminder, don't forget to get at us on our Bigs Radio Facebook group, Bigs Radio Station. It's your opportunity to upgrade your love of Biggs Radio to VIP status. We got podcast premieres, new music to come through the hood, exclusive events, all that fun stuff. So get over there right now because our group is growing. Biggs Radio Station Facebook group. Get down with the sound, all right? How about this for trying to keep the youngins away from behind bars? According to a report at the Black News Channel, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker made history by signing the following bills into law. Senate Bills 2122, 64, 2129, and House Bill 3587. All of those grouped together made Pritzker the first state governor to sign into law legislation barring police from, quote, using deceptive tactics when interrogating young people. In signing those bills, Pritzker said, quote, the 4 bills I'm signing today advance the rights of some of our most vulnerable in our justice system and puts Illinois at the forefront of the work to bring about true reform. Together, these initiatives move us closer to a holistic criminal justice system, one that builds confidence and trust in a system that has done harm to too many people far too long. Now, the backstory to this is that Illinois had a very bad reputation of police deceiving minors. What do I mean? Well, one particular gentleman from my hometown of Chicago said that police would tell him that his youngin, who got picked up, I guess, on some kind of petty crime, would be delivered to this particular district by the man's house. Instead, the youngster wound up going to the bigger area police district and just done some untold things, almost police Commander Byrd style. So these bills put into law some accountability features that every police department need to follow. Should have been doing that in the first place, but you know, when you're dealing with damn folk, like they like to say, you know, sometimes we just need to have the power of the pen. Kind of like this voting suppression thing that's been going on. Thankfully, Illinois ain't doing this wildness. They know better because they know JB going like, you better get this out my face. That'll take care of this hour on Vince Brown in the Morning. If this is your last stop, thanks for kicking it with us. Let's do it again tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Central Time, 7 a.m. out east. For those of you continuing on this Bismarcky Bumper Day, more news, views, great music. I'll even throw in a little bit more about the Clown Prince of Hip Hop and a chance meeting I had with him some years back before his untimely demise. That's all here on this edition of Vince Brown in the Morning, presented by Bank of America. Make quick and easy deposit at a Bank of America ATM near you. It is 11 before the hour.
The Biggs Radio Network. Vince Brown.
Overtime.
BiggsRadio.com.
Vince Brown in the Morning.
Name it and claim it. The Biggs Radio Network.
15 past the hour on Vince Brown in the Morning. Get at us on the Biggs Radio line, talk or text 773-462-4447. That's 773-462-4447. On this Bismarcky Bumper Day, The Motor City is our next stop, as another incident of racial profiling is now in the mix. According to Fox 2 TV, Julia and Derek Robinson are taking legal action after their daughter Lamia was removed from Riverside skating rink due to an issue with the venue's facial recognition system. Man, when that jump off? The incident occurred back on July 10th when Julia Robinson dropped off her daughter at the local rink to meet up with a group of her friends. Unfortunately, Lamia was denied entry into the rink because the venue's facial recognition system mistook her for someone previously banned. The Michigan teen attempted to explain that she had never been at a skating rink ever, but she was still barred from entering with her friends and left outside the venue. Thankfully, Lamia was able to call her cousin, who was nearby, and able to pick her up from the skating rink. Her mother, Julia, said, quote, "To me, it's basically racial profiling. You're just saying every young black, brown girl with glasses fits the profile, and that's not right." The father, Derek, adds, "You all put my daughter out of the establishment by herself, not knowing what could have happened. It just happened to be a blessing that she was calling in frustration to talk to her cousin, but at the same time, he pretty much said, 'I'm not that far. Let me see what's wrong with her.'" Once again, folk trying to keep folk out the pool when ain't no need to keep them out the pool. I smell lawsuit coming in this, folks. The least you could have done was ask her for her identification. But no! This is another one of those fit the description type cases. I say go ahead and sue him. Shoot, talk to the boss lady. She know how to do that type of stuff. Get at my girl Dinah Lynn. She might hook you up with somebody that knows somebody up in that area. Know what I'm saying? Vince Brown in the morning on this Bismarcky Bumper Day. We'll recap our social media question of the day and much, much more. It is 18 past the hour.
Vince Brown in the morning.
We're not for sale. The Bigs Radio Network.
Vince Brown.
Overtime. BigsRadio.com.
Vince Brown in the morning.
The catch of the day. The Bigs Radio Network.
30 past the hour on Vince Brown in the morning. Get at us on the Bigs Radio line. Talk or text 773-462-4447. That's 773-462-4447. Just a reminder, you can catch this great program every Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. Central Time on the mothership, BigsRadio.com. Or out on the seaboard through our friends SoulRadio51Philly.com at 7 a.m. Also, the boss lady Dylan Biggs is coming up later this morning at 10 a.m. Central for Boss Lady in the Midday. She'll be back later tonight as well to bring that new music and those new independent artists to you like only she can on the Monday night edition of The Big Show. 8 p.m. Central Time on the mothership, BigsRadio.com. As you enjoy the instrumental strains of Biz Marquis's only top 10 hit, meaning top 10 in the Billboard Hot 100, Just a Friend, we dropped the social media question of the day honoring the late, great Diabolical this way. What is your favorite Biz Marquis track of all time and why? You can respond through our Facebook group, Bigs Radio Station, if you haven't already joined. Or hit us up on the Bigs Radio line, talk or text 773-462-4447. That's 773-462-4447. 4447. Once again, the question, our social media question of the day, what is your favorite Biz Markie track of all time and why? Vince Brown in the morning will put a bow on all of this Biz Markie celebration in Vince's Vents. Back to more news, views, and great music. Check your watches. 28 before the hour.
Vince Brown in the morning.
The voice of the community.
The Bigs Radio Network.
Vince Brown.
BigsRadio.com.
Vince Brown in the morning.
Online and on your mobile device.
The Bigs Radio Network.
"15 before the hour on Vince Brown in the morning. Get at us on the Bigs Radio line, talk or text 773-462-4447. That's 773-462-4447. Don't forget to jump on the Facebook group Bigs Radio Station. Upgrade your love of Bigs Radio to VIP status. Podcast premieres, new music, exclusive events, all that stuff. Get over there right now because the group's growing. Bigs Radio Station Facebook group. Vince's Vents. This one's going to be a little diabolical. The views expressed on Vince's Vents, not necessarily those of the Bigs Radio Network, its subsidiaries, affiliates, or sponsors. Well, as you could probably tell by the music throughout the entire show, we've been paying tribute to the recently departed, diabolical clown prince of hip-hop, Biz Markie. This man is truly and honestly one of the good guys of this thing we called hip-hop. But I gotta tell you, you got to be a cold brother to come out the gate talking about picking boogers and make it sound like a rhyme. But he was just being as real as anybody out there that has picked up a mic and spit a few verses. He was just kind of taking everyday things we do and putting them on wax, no pun intended. Whether it was picking boogers, sitting on a toilet stool, or just simply making the music with his mouth as his first R&B charted hit did. You basically could put him on a Mount Rushmore of human beatboxes. Him, Buffy the Human Beatbox from the Fat Boys, and Dougie Fresh. Rozelle might be a distant fourth, but he had some flow with him on that, but no doubt Biz had that beatbox on lock. And I think the Notorious B.I.G. drew some inspiration from him, as the line would used to say, "Heartthrob, never, black and ugly as ever." But, also like Notorious B.I.G., Biz was married too. And his wife Terry, there to the end. All the way to the end. As good as he was on the mic, even better on the ones and twos. His second life as a DJ. A lot of people can tell stories about that. He just decided to pick up the 12s because he knew his rap side was going away. So he figured, hey, This is another part of the hip hop nation that gets love. Let me get at that. Man, the stuff that brother did, you got to go on YouTube to find it now because you will never see that again. And interestingly enough, what trips me out about Biz is the fact that he could make you laugh when he could be so dead serious about what he was talking about. Whether, of course, it was the nasal cleansing, the dropping of old groceries, as my dearly departed grandmother and grandfather would say, or just beatboxing, or whatever he felt like talking about in the day. That just a friend, that's some real stuff. Because I know a whole gang of cats had a summer love, went to college, and all of a sudden, oh, snap! Yeah, that Biz brought the real to hip-hop as only he could. Even more real was his final battle with type 2 diabetes. Yeah, I think, to be quite honest, Biz on the road hit too many Waffle Houses and IHOPs to even imagine. And it caught up with him. Either that or, like most black men, unfortunately, he just let it go on too long without being checked, and it put him down for the count, unfortunately. So for those of you out there with type 2 diabetes, let Biz Markie's death be a wake-up call for you. If you haven't gotten that stuff checked out now, check it out now. Because I'm telling you, that little bit of diabetes, that sugar we like to call, that sparks some stuff now, will wind up being an amputated leg or diabetic shock later if you don't treat it. That's real. I've seen some relatives go through that. That ain't fun. So yeah, we celebrating Biz, but Biz's death should let all black men know. Get that stuff checked out and get it checked out right away and do something about it to reverse it. It can be reversed. One of my colleagues was able to do that. All right? Biz, we miss you. We love you. And we just might pick a booger in your name, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, that takes care of this edition of Vince Brown in the Morning. The executive producer of Vince Brown in the Morning is Alvin Washington. Executive producer for the Biggs Radio Network is the lovely and talented Dinah Biggs. Executive producer for our Philadelphia division is Bill Hendricks. Till next time, whatever you do, however you do it, make sure you do it good, increase the peace. And no matter wherever am I, you know it's always Southside Shy. Clock in mix coming up next. Boss Lady at midday at 10 a.m. And this is Vince Brown in the Morning.
The Biggs Radio Network.